Hello everyone, welcome back to another hero tutorial videos. This time, we'll be learn about Lolita. Skill combo and landing phase. Lolita is a hero with a typical roamer tank, which means that all types of skills are designed for the purpose of covering friends or creating moments for the team to attack in war. There is no special combo for Lolita, and the use of each skill depends on the conditions required. The first skill makes Lolita have the ability to dash and stun at the same time. You can use this skill in two conditions. The first is when your teammate is in danger and is being chased by enemy. You can use the first skill towards the enemy hero who is chasing your teammate, giving them a longer gap to run. The second condition is the opposite. When the enemy is dying and your team is chasing them, you can use first skill to jump towards the enemy and give a stun effect for 0.5 seconds, giving your teammates time to get closer. Next is the second skill, which is purely aimed at protecting yourself and your teammates, but according to the conditions and use of this skill, it can provide reflective damage originating from attacks by the enemy hero itself. Use the second skill in conditions where you are at the forefront and the enemy damage dealer deals major damage through basic attacks or projectile type skills, such as the second skill from Cyclops, Brody's basic attack and ultimate, the second skill from Novaria, Harley's first skill, and many more. The shield created by this skill will reflect these damage directed at us back towards the user. If the moment of using the second skill is very precise, it can cause big losses for the enemy because the skill that should have caused damage to teammates instead turns around and attacks them. But strengths also come with weaknesses when entering real conditions in the game. Lolita's weakness is the stun effect itself, which means Lolita won't be able to do much if faced with enemy heroes who have skills with the Purify effect, such as Wanwan, Kagura, Mia, Kadita, or an enemy who uses the battle spell Purify itself. The reflection effect of both skills will also not be useful for burst skills that are not projectile type, for example Kagura and Kadita's burst. For this reason, Lolita's selection as a roamer is also conditioned by the draft composition of the opposing team and teammates. But if it is unavoidable, then just optimize it by paying special attention to whether the enemy has used his Purify skill or not when using the ultimate skill. Your main priority in the early game is to protect the marksman, but this is conditional if your teammate's jungle is invaded. You can also invade enemy jungles, but not in the first 5 minutes, especially if you intend to do it alone. Lolita will be more optimal if she is combined with her teammates, so pay as much attention to your position as possible in the position of your teammates. Entering the mid-late game, your priority is to find the right war moment, and as much as possible don't hesitate to initiate if you have backup from teammates nearby. Because team members with Lolita roamers will tend to have an attitude of depending on Lolita's initiation, and Lolita's skills will not be optimal if the right moment is lost. And the last and most iconic thing about Lolita is her ultimate skill, which functions as a moment creator in war. To make things easier, you can understand Lolita's ultimate skill is a skill that will provide a stun effect for 2 seconds on enemies within the range of her ultimate, where this stun effect is classified as very long when war conditions occur. With 2 seconds created, your teammates have more than enough time to eliminate enemy heroes. For tips on how to use it yourself, you can combine it with flicker and roam conceal items, or you can also use it when you are in the bush. This aims to reduce the percentage of enemy heroes escaping out of the skill area, because when using the ultimate skill in these two conditions, Lolita's ultimate area will not be visible to the enemy, creating a surprise moment. The use of flicker as a battle spell aims to complement the weakness of his ultimate skill, which can still be avoided by the enemy during the channeling animation. Item, Emblem setting, and the recommended spell. Item and emblem setting requirements are conditioned according to gameplay requirements and counter the proportion of enemy items. If enemy items are dominated by critical items, then buy blade armor. If the enemy buys a lot of physical items, then buy an antique cuirass. If the enemy is dominated by a hero with high attack speed and regen ability, then buy Dominance Ice. Against DPS mage heroes like Nathan and Julian, use Radiant Armor. And if you are fighting a burst mage hero, then use Athena. The last item recommendation is immortality. The use of warrior boots, or though boots is adjusted to the damage dominance of the enemy hero. If there are more heroes with magic damage, then use though boots, and if there is more physical damage, then you need warrior boots. Hero compatibility. Strong against Lunox, Brody, Hanabi, Edith. Countered by Kadita, Kagura, Valir, Valentina. Best teammates: Novaria, Kadita, Kagura, Claude, Beatrix. And that's the Lolita tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe the official channel of Mobile Legend and turn on the bell to get notifications about other videos. The next video we'll be learn about Minotaur.